Hey guys, welcome to iKnowTECH, and today we have a very special device with us, the brand new Sony Xperia Z1. The Xperia Z1 is Sony's latest offering in its premium phone segment. This phone too follows the Sony's typical omnibalance design language. So let's see if this phone is also wild enough to be the segment leader this time. So let's start with the design first. We have this very similar looking phone from Sony once again. Nothing new here. Only the big difference from other flagships from Sony and its predecessor, the Xperia Z, is that the new aluminum skeleton is given here along with this black plastic band. So courtesy of that, the phone feels very premium, and it's also very steady and solid in the end. Very nice to hold, a nice feeling. The Xperia Z1 is certified under IP58, so that makes it water and dust resistant. A major portion of this phone is dominated by this glass. At the front we have dragon tail glass that's pretty tough, and also at the back we have the gorilla glass too. The weight distribution along the device is really perfect. The front and the back of the phone is dominated by this tempered glass, covered by shatterproof glass, and around this is the aluminum skeleton, offering a more premium look than its predecessor, the Xperia Z. There's a LED notification light in the earpiece, which is a clever touch and looks very nice. All the ports are covered under these flaps, as the phone is water and dust resistant, certified under IP58. The buttons are also of great quality but lack the mechanical feel to it. There is also a clever addition of this camera shutter button, which allows us to shoot even under water. The aluminum power button on the Xperia Z1 is inspired by a watch crown, which looks great and has a good feedback when handling the device with one hand. It's easily available to the thumb. Also, the Z1 is slightly heavier and more thicker than its predecessor, the Xperia Z. But that's a different story. The Z1 is a lot more premium than that phone, and a lot more refined also. So guys, let's have a look on the design layout of the phone. Now on the front we have this couple of sensors here. The Sony logo, the front 2 megapixel cam with autofocus. Below that we have the 5-inch TFT LCD display, which is full HD, having a pixel density of 441 pixels per inch. Here we have the microphone, here we have the earpiece. Now on the top of the device we have this 3.5mm headphone jack. Now on the left side we have this flap for micro SD slot, and here we have the micro USB charging port. Below that we have this magnetic charging dock. Now on the bottom of the device we have this speaker. Besides that we have this strap cavity. Now on the right hand side of the device we have this camera shutter button, the volume rocker, and the aluminum power button. Above that we have this flap which covers the micro SIM slot, and we have this reset button. Now at the back of the device we have this 20.7 megapixel shooter with Sony G lens and this single LED flash. Below that we have this NFC chip, the Sony logo and the Xperia logo, and here we have the secondary microphone. So nowadays all the smartphones are getting 1080p screens, and there's no exception in the Sony Xperia Z1. We get a 5-inch Full HD display with Sony's so-called triluminous display technology. It gives us a pixel density of 441 pixels per inch, and it also boasts Sony's X-Reality engine. This all technology should result in a better viewing experience. But there are certain pros and cons of the Sony's display. So let's have a look on the pros first. First of all, we have a spectacular pixel density of 441. The details in the display are beyond obsessive, and the text is razor sharp. So sharp that you can cut your hands if not used safely, and it's good for shaving too. Now jokes apart, the display has a very high brightness, so you have to carry a sunglass when using it. Now this kind of brightness has certain consequences. Number 1, we have a display which we can easily view under direct sunlight. Number 2, we have a display which is too bright to view a color accurately. Let's compare with Sony's another flagship, the Xperia Z Ultra. The color in the Xperia Z1 seems to be little washed out due to the over brightness. The red color, for example, has a deeper tone in the Xperia Z Ultra, while it looks a little orangish in the Xperia Z1. And that's not all. The blacks are not deep, which makes the screen have a grayish color instead of black. Number 3, and the most important one, is the viewing angle. Sony has stuck a shatterproof film on all of its Xperia lineup. This also has some effects. The good effect is that if you drop your phone and your screen shatters, the protective film will hold the shattered glass together and you can use the device without cutting your hands. The bad effects is where the problem starts. The shatterproof film makes the display highly reflective and also a fingerprint magnet. The mobile easily gets dirty, and also the screen is easily prone to scratches as the film is made up of plastic. So let's talk about Sony's traditional problem of its smartphone display, the viewing angle. After so many negative reviews of the Sony Xperia Z, Sony tried to improve itself by introducing triluminous display and did a pretty fair job with the Sony Xperia Z Ultra. But then the boss of Sony realized that following the tradition is a very important thing for the Japanese people, and they again ruined the viewing angle in the Xperia Z1. The problem is not very huge, but is definitely visible when compared to other smartphones like this iPhone 5. These are not very big issues, and the overall display experience is quite awesome. Sony always likes simplistic design language. The Xperia Z1 has a very understated straightforward design, and same is with the user interface. Sony's skin on top of Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean is perfectly optimized with no many additional bloatwares. Though there are some bloatwares like Xperia Privilege, the Magisto and the X4 video player, which many of the users don't really use, but that's okay. But due to the Sony's super light skin, the UI feels snappy and super smooth with no lag or jitterness. Sony does multitasking with ease with its small apps, like we can use this calculator while watching a video, like this. But the only thing that is quite annoying is that the small apps like this calculator cannot be resized. But hope Sony brings that on future software updates. The app drawer is much darker in tone than Xperia Z and much bold. The app drawer has much improved feel. If we swipe left, we get a separate app management window. This is a new addition from Sony and quite useful to manage apps. For example, we can manage apps from here like alphabetical order or most used or installed wise. Also we can uninstall the apps from here. So that's a cool addition. For browsing the internet, we have by default the Google Chrome app. So let's check the Xperia blog. So you can see how fast it opened, and the transition is also smooth. There's no letterboxing or empty spaces in the net in the web page. So now let's open the Google. So you can see how fast it loaded, and also we can open now Google Mail like Gmail. So you can see its performance right here. Talking about the performance, we have got a 2.2 brake horsepower quad-core engine mated with 2 turbochargers. That is, we have the latest Snapdragon 800 processor churning out 2.2 GHz of raw processing power, mated with 2 GB of RAM. Also there's the best GPU in the segment, the Adreno 330. The byproduct of this is that we get awesome performance no matter whatever you throw at it. Gaming is super smooth, and also 0 to 60 timings are awesome.
Did you bring your dictionary?
The device booted quickly. And also powering off is a breeze. The apps launch quickly and there's no lag in the operating system, either shooting pictures. All other graphic intensive processes are carried out without a hiccup. Media experience is also quite good. Except the poor viewing angles, the display is otherwise very sharp and very immersive. The other weak point of the Xperia Z1 is its speakers. For certifying the phone under IP58, Sony had to make some serious compromises, which leads to speakers which are not very loud. The headphones supplied with it have a good bass, but lack in music and sound clarity. Another main factor is the battery life. The Z1 has a 3050 mAh battery, which is impressive for a device with display this small. Standby times are awesome, and the custom settings help the device to save the battery. So let's have a look on the benchmark performance of the Sony Xperia Z1. Here we have the Antutu benchmark. So let's begin this test. So as you can see, the device scored a score of 34,652, better than the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 and the S4. So you can imagine how fast this thing is. So that's it. So let's have a look on the Xperia Z1's camera interface and also the camera quality. So thanks for watching this video. If you like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you have any queries, feel free to comment below. Follow us on Facebook for daily tech updates. See you next time.